What's going on YouTube? It's Dave's Daily Trades, and we have quite the video for today. So we're going to be taking a look at the Ortex data. We're going to be going over some call versus put options. Of course, we're going to be going over some Twitter posts that happened today. And to start the video, we're going to go over a quick AMC technical analysis and some price predictions for Friday. So, of course, I usually start off my pre-Friday videos with saying Friday is usually a slow day in the market because a lot of people take vacations, they want to take the weekend early, yada, yada, yada. But guys, not every Friday is going to be a red or flat day, and especially after the day we had today. So AMC closed for the day up 4.82% and started off like most days where we do have a little bit of a sell-off in the morning followed by a run up. And typically what we've been seeing is after this first or second run up, selling and then selling throughout the majority of the day. But of course, sentiment changed, and we're going to jump into why that happened. And we actually, once we broke this $32 range, which we did retest a couple of times throughout the day, we shot up to our high of $34.10. Now, we did drop a little low from that and actually closed out the day at $33.07. After hours, we are down 0.79%, down to $32.81, but continuing to hold above this range. And now we're going to be floating around $32 and $35. Now, price predictions for tomorrow is, since we have tested this range and have really been trading around $32 and $30 for quite some time, I believe this is where we start the leg up. And now we're going to be retesting $35. That would be our next resistance point. And of course, if we can break that, that will move us up to, and let me just zoom out here, all the way to $40.59. So time will tell, of course, but not every Friday is a slow day, of course, when there is some bullish sentiment to the stock. Now, we'll jump right over to the one-day chart and we'll zoom into the important data, of course. So really nothing too crazy here, but one thing I want to point out is this trading bar from yesterday. So this is what's called a T formation, and it's typically when the stock opens and closes directly next to each other. But the biggest thing and why this is so bullish is because we tested this range down here, did not like it, so came back up all the way to the close, followed by a pretty decent sized green candle. So that's really big to see. Now we do have a few technicals coming into play with the MACD here. This crossover looks like it is literally about to start. I would say we can see this formation really work out possibly by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, around that time frame. So that would be great as long as we don't get another rejection like we did. Now RSI is starting to line up perfectly. Right now we're at 43 on the RSI scale, and typically my rule of thumb is over 50 is bullish, under 50 is bearish. So it looks like we're moving up now since we've tested that low of just about 35 on the RSI scale. And the tail is pointing up. So guys, this could work perfectly with the MACD, the RSI, all shooting north, while OBV is still staying flat since our highs over here. So that's really good to see. All right, so we are going to jump into a few things on Twitter here. Guys, if you're not following me yet, definitely follow me on Twitter. I will follow you back. I absolutely promise that. And if I don't, just shoot me a quick message and let me know that I'm not following you, because sometimes I am dumb. Totally fine. But anyways, guys, BAM, I know a lot of people have some doubts about BAM, but guys, not all models are going to be 100% accurate. And I'm not saying that this is 100% accurate, but what I'm saying is we need to take this into consideration. BAM does have quite the following on Twitter and, of course, on YouTube. So what he is saying is pretty much he's finding new bullish data to support that, of course, August, extremely bullish, as you can see here, but also even new bullish data for September and November. So that's really good to see. So I would take this with a grain of salt, but guys, I did want to show this. And of course, what he's relating this bullish zone of strength, or the zone of strength as he calls it, ZOS, this happened right before that June run-up. So take it with a grain of salt, do what you want with it. But of course, this does not hurt us at all. Another interesting thing that came out, and really my purpose with a lot of these YouTube videos is to get away of, all of these hypothetical setups and everything like this, but also take a look at the overall economy and how it's actually performing. So on the chart right here, we have silver and gold, which of course are commodities, and commodities really play a good story in painting the future of what may be happening. So as you can see here, we did fall below this major support line right here, and it does not look great. And the same thing with gold, where we have been selling off for a few days now. And of course, what this looks like is very similar to the sell-off that we saw in March of 2020 for the coronavirus pandemic. So this is really interesting, and the reason why I'm bringing this information up is, of course, AMC has that negative beta. So when commodities are about to fall, this could paint the picture for the larger picture of the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. So of course, we'll see what happens, because this sell-off in the commodities actually happened a little before the sell-off in the overall market occurred. So negative beta means good things. New investors may be hedging their overall positions with this negative beta stocks like AMC and GameStop. So we'll see how that plays out. And then another post right here. This is by John Hollowatch. He's actually been posting some really, really good information. So what we have on the chart here is data from April all the way to May. This was, of course, exactly the same technical setup that we're having right now. And what happens next, we have this huge green candlestick. So this is something that I found extremely interesting. Had to take a look at it, and it does look great. But guys, like I said before, this is a hypothetical situation. We're not 100% sure if this is going to play out, but I do have to say history does continue to repeat itself. So last things, short interest percentage, guys, 19%. And we are actually getting very close to 100 million shares on loan. So that is great to see, guys. This has been going up like crazy the past, I would say, this entire week. And my personal beliefs is a lot of hype and positive news came out of the earnings call with Adam Aaron. So, of course, they needed to keep ammo in the bag to bring the stock down, or at least to contain the stock from rising like we've seen in the past. So that's really what I think is the reason for this short interest boost. Of course, to each his own, and we won't know for sure, but of course, more short interest, very, very high stress on the hedgies. So that's really great. Last thing I do want to cover, guys, is some data here on the calls and puts, and this is from Unusual Whales on Twitter. They post extremely, extremely great information. So if you're not following them yet, definitely go and hit that follow button. So anyways, really the big thing here is I'm not really looking too much at the strikes over here, but really what caught my eye is the deep out of the money call options and how much bullish pressure that we're seeing. So as we can see here, this is right around at, call it $70, where we start seeing a lot more volume, and especially we're not seeing a whole lot in the 50s. But once we get higher into the 70 range, that's when things get interesting, and we can see this on multiple charts here. So really my thoughts and my key takeaways from this is the bullish sentiment is now in the hands of AMC investors. A lot of people, since this low that we've seen, I'm just going to jump back to the chart right here, that was really the low put in. And of course, if we're looking at this wedge, we almost hit this perfectly. So now things are changing. A lot of people are gaining very bullish momentum on AMC. And plus, guys, I mean, look at the earnings call. That was absolutely phenomenal. To end this video, I do want to say one thing that Aaron Adams' interview with Trey Trades really left in my mind was support AMC by going to the theaters. And, you know, that is really something that we all need to do, guys. I mean, we've been holding the stock, or I have personally been holding the stock for well over 6 months now, since January. So we need to really go support this company. Go buy a large popcorn for $12. Go buy some movie tickets. Bring your girlfriend, bring your family, your boyfriend, whoever they may be. Because that's really the way that AMC is going to succeed in the long run as well. I mean, imagine 4.1 or however many shareholders, millions, guys, millions of shareholders going to AMC theaters, bringing family, bringing friends. I mean, imagine what the Q3 earnings report is going to look like if that's the case. So continue to support the stock by supporting the company and going out and seeing some freaking movies. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Definitely tune in for tomorrow's, and peace out. Have a good night.